All right. Hello, Everyday Stats. We are going to do lesson 1.2 today. We're going to look at one way of analyzing one variable data. Um, we're going to look at categorical data right now. So let's get into it. All right, so today we're going to make a bar chart. A bar graph is probably what you've heard it called. We're going to look at a pie chart and interpret it. And we're going to look at some things that you should never do when you're making some of these graphs. So we've looked at a frequency table or a relative frequency table, right? We looked at a variables distribution in numerical form. We could display it more clearly by using a graph. We could use a bar chart or a pie chart, right? Where we would have each category as a different bar. You guys are really familiar with these. You've done it before. So we're going to move through this lesson fairly quickly. How do you make a bar chart? Well, first you got to draw and label your axes. Axes, label. Okay, if you don't label your axes, your graph is wrong. Also, make sure that your scale is appropriate based on what kind of data you have, right? And so you'll be putting those scales in there. We'll draw one just to make sure we're all remembering how to do that. And then we're going to draw some bars above our category names. We're going to make sure that those bars are equal width, and we'll put some gaps in between them. So here we go. Here's an example of a bar graph. All right. So you'll notice that each one of our axes have been labeled. Yeah, each one of our bars labeled, and our units are appropriate. We'll make one of these here in a second. We're going to get through this very, very quickly. So pie chart, when we want to talk about, what percentage one quantity is in comparison to another quantity, great way to look at it. Here's an example of a pie chart. Okay, so it's nice to use relative frequencies, percentages, if we're going to look at groups that are different sizes, right? So what percentage? Since there were perhaps less females than males that were asked, we're going to look at the percentage of females that answered each particular superpower rather than the number, because that would throw that off, right? If we asked much less females than males, which superpower would you like to have? And then we put just the count of people that said invisibility. We're going to get some data that looks a little weird. So instead, we'll look at the percentages. It's really tempting to make them look interesting by using pictures and stuff, but it doesn't work well. We got here, what kind of party would you like to have? Well, you can see if we use a donut or a pizza and then a piece of pasta to represent the party, it's kind of weird. It could throw a person off, right? It might look like people really like donut parties just about as much as pizza parties, but in fact, the donut party was much less than, well, I guess not much less, but less than a pizza party. All right, which cell phone speaks to you? We've got some data. We're going to do something on our own here. So I'm going to create a bar graph for us. Let's look at what the data is about. First of all, 2024 adult cell phone owners in the United States were asked what type of cell phone they own, iPhone, Android, or other, including non-smartphones. That Motorola flip phone thing's awesome. Just want a Razor again. That's all really. Uh, and we're going to be asked to make a bar chart based on this frequency table, and I've got that all ready to go for us right here. So let's go ahead and do it. The first thing we need to do is we need to draw our axes. And let's go ahead and label them. So this one's going to be, ooh, it's a little fat, our frequency. I swear that's what that says. And this is going to be type of phone. Now I've got to let's see. Let's look at what types we have. We got the iPhone. We have the Android, and then we have other. Let's make some appropriate units here. Our highest is all the way up to over 1,000. So I think that if we went by units of 100, we'd be good to go. So that's 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Ooh, that's really bad. It's very close there. Oops. Goodness gracious. There we go. I actually wanted to do that. Oh. All right. All right, that's as far back as it'll go for me. Sorry about the delay there. There's 400, 500, 600, 700, 8, 9, and 1,000. All right. So iPhone is at 465. Something like that. Okay, my next one has got to be about the same width. And that's going to be at 503, slightly larger, I think. Slightly taller, I should say. And then other went up to 1,054. And there you have it. What do you see? It looks like a lot more people had something other than an iPhone or an Android. All right, and the next thing on our lesson app 1.2 that we were asked was to look at the side-by-side bar chart. Side-by-side bar chart, easy for you to say, displays the distribution of phone ownership for each of these age groups. So now we're looking at different age groups. What can we say about the distributions of phone ownership for our 3 age groups? So we're looking at percentages per age group. So red 18 to 34, yellow 35 to 54, green 55 plus. It looks like older people have other types of phones predominantly, while it seems that younger people, the youngest in the group, have more Android phones. But if we look at iPhones, that's also true as well, that our youngest population has iPhones. That the percentage of iPhone users is higher amongst younger people. Awesome. All right, well, this was a very, very easy, quick one. We'll have a fairly simple assignment coming up for you during our next class period. Just looking at what we did, fairly simple. This is stuff, guys, that you've probably seen before. Just giving you a refresher. Keep an eye out for that next assignment. Thank you so much. Stay safe. I hope that you're having a beautiful day.